Hi guys, I hope you like Alice's adventures in Wonderland because today we're painting the roses red. Hope you enjoy the video. To make the base for the pendant, roll out a sheet of black clay or any colour you like and sketch a sort of whimsical keyhole shape. Then cut it out and soften the edges with your fingers. Bake for 10 minutes. Next, roll out a sheet of white clay and cut out a rectangle. Overlap it to a black sheet of clay to cut an identical one. Cut the whole thing in half and stack the pieces together, making sure there are no air bubbles. Now cut lots of slices. Place the slices next to each other, making sure they are straight and that you alternate the colours. Start a new row on top, and if the first colour below is the black, then start the next layer with the white. Make sure the whole cane is tight and that there are no air pockets before you start slicing. Again, place the slices next to each other so that you achieve a chessboard effect, paying attention not to put the same colours next to each other. Now you want to grab something like a Ziploc bag, cut it open and cover the clay with it. Then using a rolling pin or similar, roll away so that you get a nice even surface. Some of the squares are going to be stretched a bit more, but I think that adds to the whimsical look of Wonderland. Apply liquid clay all over your pre-baked base and cover it with the chessboard sheet. Now bake for another 10 minutes. For the roses, I'm going to be mixing almost equal parts of white and translucent clay, but this is totally optional. Next, I'm going to add a bit of green to the roses by mixing the colours together using the Skinner blend technique. The important thing about this technique is that you always follow the colours so that the white meets with the white and the green with the green. Put the folded edge in the pasta machine and pass the sheet through. You can do this with a rolling pin too, it will just take you a bit longer. You can repeat until you have a nice transition of one colour into the other. Roll the sheet into itself, keeping the colours at the extremities, and shrink it by pushing the ends in, then rolling slightly to keep it even. Then you want to stretch it the other way so that the green is all along the bottom, and finally stretch it into a long snake. To make the petals, just cut lots of slices and soften the edges with your fingers. Starting from a small snake of white clay, flatten it and roll it into itself to form the center of the rose. Then add one petal at a time by pressing it to the center of the rose and defining the curled edges with a small ball tool or by pinching it very slightly with your fingers. Make as many roses as you need and bake them for 10 minutes. If you want, you can add a few sepals with green clay. Now Lewis Carroll has specifically told us that Alice found nothing on the glass table except a tiny golden key, so we are going to follow his instructions. To make it look golden, I'm using golden mica powders, but you can also use eyeshadows or acrylic paint after baking. Apply fimo liquid to the base and add the roses. Bake again for 10 minutes before adding the rest. To make the leaves, roll out a thin green snake and cut lots of tiny pieces. Roll each one into a teardrop and flatten it. Then use a needle tool to add detail. Apply more fimo liquid to the base before adding the leaves and key. To make the paint, I'm using red oil paint and fimo liquid, but you can also use acrylic paint after baking. I decided to apply it with a toothpick to only catch the edges of the petals so you can still see some white. To give the pendant the look like we've just come out of the rabbit hole and we inevitably got a bit dirty, you can apply a wash of brown paint and blot the excess with a tissue. After glazing it, I drill 2 holes on each side so to insert screw bales. If you don't have a drill like this, you can make the holes before baking too. Then I took a head pin and removed the head to create a loop. I added a bead, trimmed the excess wire and attached it to the pendant before closing the loop. And your Paint the Roses Red pendant is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all next time, bunny rabbits. Bye! Ciao ciao!